everyone, I'm Phil Obregas-Pacho from Vitivited FSM 3B from Group 7, and our research title is about the aloe vera jelly as a dessert basic ingredient. So, descriptive test. It is the test that requires the analytical expertise of the finalists to describe the aroma, appearance, color, texture, taste, and purchase intention. The descriptive test result, as assessed by the panelists, used the 5-point scale. The results were presented on the succeeding table. So, Table 7, the aroma attribute. It was revealed in Table 7 that the average mean score of T0 or control was 4.13 and has a description of very pleasant, while the T1 was 4.16 with a description of very pleasant. T2 was 4 with a description of very pleasant, and lastly, T3 was 3.92 with a description of very pleasant. Table 8, the appearance attribute. It was revealed in the Table 8 that the average mean score of T0 or control is 4.02 with a description of very much presentable, while the T1 is 4.49 with a description of very much presentable, and the T2 is 3.8 with a description of moderately presentable, while T3 was 4.1 with a description of very much presentable. In Table 9, the color attributes, it was revealed in Table 9 that the average mean score of T0 or control was 4.05 and had a description of brown, while the T1 was 3.94 with a description of brown, and T2 has 3.83 with a description of brown, while T3 has 3.83 with a description of brown. In Table 10, the texture attribute, it was revealed in Table 10 that the average mean score of T0 or control was 3.84 and had a description of moderately soft, while T1 was 4.27 with a description of moderately soft, and T2 was 3.77 with a description of moderately soft, and lastly, T3 was 3.74 with a description of moderately soft. And that's all on my part. Thank you.
Aloe vera jelly dessert basic. So I'm the one who assigned the table 11 to 14. By the way, I'm Rael Hayag from Vitivited FSM 3B. So, taste attribute. It was revealed in the table 11 that the average mean TO or control was 4.20 and has a description of moderately sweet, while T1 was 3.35 with a description of moderately sweet, and T2 was 4.15 with a description of moderately sweet, while T3 was 4.26 with a description of moderately sweet. So, table 12. Purchase the intention attribute the description of the different treatment of the aloe vera brownies as a dessert basic ingredients. It was revealed in Table 12 that the average of TO or T0 or to control was 4.83 and has a description of probably would accept the product, while T1 was 4.16 with a description of definitely would accept product, and T2 has 4.24 with a description of probably would accept the product, while T3 has 4.16 with a description probably would buy on a product. Summary table and descriptive test of the sensory attributes of the 4 recipes. Can be shown the table 13 that T0 control aroma attributes was 4.13 and has a description of a very pleasant. T1 has an attribute 4.16 with a description very pleasant. T2 has a 4 and description of very pleasant, and T3 has 3.92 with a very pleasant. On the other hand, T0 or control appearance has a 4.02 with a description of a very much presentable. T1 has a 4.9 with a description of both very presentable. T2 has a 3.8 with a description of moderately presentable, and T3 has a 4.1 with a description of very much presentable. And T0 or control color as a 4.05 with a description of a brown. T1 has a 3.94 with a description of brown. T2 has 3.83 with a description brown. T3 has 3.83 with a description of brown. Aroma attributes. The acceptability of the aloe vera brownies in terms of aroma, T0 or control was 5.74 with a description of a like moderately. T1 has a 6.80 with a description of a like moderately. T2 has 6.21 with a description of like moderately, while T3 has 5.92 with a description of like very much. So that's all for.
So hi, this is Karen Digalmo. So as you can see in Table 15, Appearance Attribute, the acceptability of aloe vera brownies in terms of the appearance, T0 control was 5.77 with a description of like moderately. T1 has 6.13 with a description of like moderately. T2 has 6.02 with a description of like moderately, and T3 has 5.80 with a description of like moderately. And in Table 16, in color attribute, the acceptability of aloe vera brownies in terms of color T0 control has 5.71 with a description of like moderately. T1 has 6.16 with a description of like moderately. T2 has 5.99 and T3 has 5.75 with a description of like moderately. You can see in Table 17 texture attribute the acceptability of aloe vera brownies in terms of the texture. T0 control has 5.83 with a description of like moderately. T1 has 6.10 with a description of like moderately. T2 has 5.80 with a description of like moderately, and T3 has 5.75 with a description of like moderately. So as you can see in Table 18 taste attribute, the acceptability of aloe vera brownies in terms of taste was 6.10, which has a description of like moderately. T1 was 6.79 with a description of like very much. T2 was 6.41 with has a description of like moderately, and T3 was 6.08 with a description of like moderately.
So, good day everyone, my name is Princess Antomaxa, and let's proceed now to the table 19, which is the purchase intention. So as you can see in the screen, the table, the acceptability of aloe vera brownies in terms of purchase intention. So T0 control has 5.6 with a description of like moderately, and the T1 has 5.91, and the T2 has 5.74, and the T3 is 5.80 with a description of like moderately. So now let's proceed now to the table 20, which is the summary table on the level of acceptability of aloe vera brownies in terms of different attributes perceived by the panelists. So as you can see in the screen, the aroma and the description and the appearance, the color, the texture, and the taste. And now let's proceed to the table 21, which is the treatment statistics. So as you can see, the descriptive statistics. So the aroma, appearance, color, texture, taste, and purchase intention. So we have 20 respondents, and the mean, and the standard error, and the standard deviation. So we proceed now to the table 22, which is the summary of ANOVA. So as you can see on the screen, ANOVA test resulted that there is significant difference to the different levels of aloe vera brownies in terms of aroma, appearance, color, texture, taste, and purchase intention. So this is indicated by their p-values of aroma was 0.041, appearance was 0.107, the color is 0.11, and the texture was 0.54, and the taste was 0.41, and purchase intention was 0.352. So respectively, Turkey's post-hoc test was conducted to determine the significant difference result, found out that for aroma, color, taste has a significant difference to the original treatment, while the appearance, texture, and purchase intention has no significant difference to the original recipe. So that will be all in my part. Once again, thank you.
My name is Senior Julian M. Demeterio, the reporter of Chapter 5, which is the Summary, Conclusion, and Recommendation. This chapter discusses the summary, conclusion, and recommendation. The conclusion are derived from the findings, and the outgrowth of the calculation are the recommendation. So first is summary. This research was aimed to determine the sensory characteristics and acceptability of aloe vera jelly and chocolate ingredients as a flavor of brownies to the respondents. Especially, this sought to first is determine the sensory characteristics of aloe vera and chocolate as a flavor of brownies in the terms of first is aroma, appearance, color, texture, and taste, and overall acceptability, purchase intention in terms of first is descriptive test and hedonic test. Second is find out if the aloe vera and chocolate brownies flavor is acceptable to the taste of the people. And third is there a significant difference of the sensory attributes of the different formulation of aloe vera and perceived by the panelists. So next is the null hypothesis. So first is aloe vera jelly and chocolate flavor is not proportionate to the existing original recipe. So 2 is there is a significant differences on the sensory properties of the aloe vera jelly and the chocolate brownies flavor to the original people. The experimental and descriptive method of research was employed and was conducted, and the standard survey technique was given for gathering and determining data. 6 food experts and 6 persons which with an experience in baking at Porok, Barangay Linao, Ormoc City are the respondents of this study, in which the instrument used for the descriptive test in this study were a 5-point scale score sheet with different interpretation for every attribute of the treatments. While in the hedonic test is a 7-point scale score sheet was used for sensory characteristics of the product. The inquiry was conducted during the second semester of the school year 2021 to 2022. The statistical tool used in determining the sensory characteristics of the product were average, read, mean, and one-way analysis to variance ANOVA. Significantly different findings of every treatment and trials were further analyzed using the Tokay HSD test, where data are analyzed using a statistical package for social science, which is the SPSS version 23. The findings, where based on the result and data gathered, the following results are presented. So first is the descriptive test of aloe vera brownies is the following: very pleasant, very much presentable, brown color, very much soft, slightly sweet, and definitely would accept the product. So therefore, the people would definitely accept the product. So second is the hedonic scale of aloe vera brownies is the following. So aroma is like very much, appearance, color, textures are all like moderately. Taste is like very much, and purchase intention is like moderately. So third is the aloe vera brownies is not comparable in the existing product in terms of aroma and texture. Also 4 is the treatment 1 of aloe vera brownies is of a cup, 1/4 cup of aloe vera jelly is acceptable. In the conclusion, based on the findings, the sensory characteristics of aloe vera brownies have a potential to be accepted. The production of aloe vera brownies is in great help to the locally because it can give extra income to the people. Therefore, we conclude that the most acceptable treatment is the test 1 because it has the highest average mean of every variables brownies with 1/4 cup aloe vera jelly together with the proposed ingredients will give the students an idea and insight of what aloe vera can give unique taste to every pastry product. The recommendation: after interpreting the calculation of aloe vera brownies, certain area of acceptability of every treatment has low mean score than others. This recommendation and opinion will surely help to pursue a highly acceptable outcome of the aloe vera brownies. Recommendation: first is improvement of the texture and its taste based on the result over the level of acceptability of the treatment and the descriptive test attribute with every sensory characteristics. Second is the level of quality of the product sizes and the taste that is more acceptable to the consumers. Third is precise measurements of the ingredients and submit for evaluation in the Bureau of Food and Drug, which is BFAD, before mass production. So that could be all. Thank you.